Hey there, and welcome to yet another episode of the Quad Damage Podcast. Some may call it the best boomer shooter podcast on the internet. What can we say? Some may also just call it the most innovative podcast on the internet, where we combine the live playthrough with just hanging out with your friends. Think of it like taking in a live show at the pub with your friends. I'm your friend, High Functioning Medium. This is my friend, Robert from HyperVerse. And joining us today is our other friend, honored guest even, Hyacsho, a fellow content creator specializing in boomy shooties of the old and new variety. And we're taking a shot at the classic Doom 2. We're going to see just how frustrating the level design is, or isn't, depending on who you are.
It really is.
And,
it really is frustrating.
Just going to let it rip.
Hello, everyone. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yay!
It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. Been trying to get you on for a while now.
You know what? That is the weirdest thing, is that you've gone, how many episodes? 9, 10 episodes?
This is the 8th.
This is the 8th, okay. Yeah. And honestly, it feels like you guys are just going, like, non-stop, hyperspeed, HyperVerse, if you will.
It's the only speed HyperVerse knows.
It really is. Hyacsho, I just want to get some thanks out to the way first of all before we start, right? Because I don't know if you're aware, but you're partially responsible for the creation of this podcast.
I am. In what way is that?
You remember ages ago you did a countryside stream, and I was chatting in it.
I do.
Mod, yeah. So you got stuck in a house, and I was trying to write down instructions for you to get out the house, and I was like, you know what? It'd be better if I could just talk to the damn man, right?
Right.
So it got my mind running, and I was like, what if there was some sort of group walkthrough that we could do, right? And then that's part of the impetus for figuring out this here, doing this group thing on Discord whilst playing a game. So we've partially got you to be responsible for the creation of this.
Well, I'm happy to be of help. I mean, that was a very good stream. That was a very fun stream. Countryside as well. Very good mod. Very cool. If anyone listening in hasn't played it, I recommend it. It was really good. It was such a great night, actually. I remember correctly.
Oh, I can't get back up there, can I, to get the chainsaw?
No. You made several mistakes already, and I'm watching you very much.
Well, I hate to bring this up, but I think the reason he's having a little trouble is we forgot something.
What did we forget?
One small little detail that might involve the backing off of a beer cap and 3 magic words. You know what those might be?
Oh my god! How could we forget that? Deadforge is going to be furious.
He will. We better do it.
See, I was thinking of them the whole time. So let's just pause, conserve your energy. Draw on that Argent energy, and let's get booming.
Booming.
Wait. No, let's do it again. Wait. What do I have to do? Let's get. I panicked.
Okay. So, good. That was a warm up. All right.
Warm up. Okay, cool.
All right. Let's get booming.
Booming. Was that right, or was that shite?
We tried. We made our best effort. I think we
was right. Shite. I thought I went slow. Apparently, it was still faster than it's just the HyperVerse speed. So everybody's had to catch up. So
I love it.
I'm still breathless from it.
Oh shit! Please go up there, for the love of God. Please go up there. My God, it's press spacebar. Something. I don't know. Are you using the controller? There you go.
Oh yeah. For those of you watching, this is the first time I've ever played Doom on a.
Okay, open the wall. There we go.
On a keyboard and mouse. Usually I'm on Xbox. Where's my damn gun? 45 ammo, right?
You know what's funny is that I'm always on a keyboard and hardly ever on a controller. So it's always interesting to see other people play it. In general, it's fantastic. Stuff.
Yeah, my first Doom was on a Xbox, like on the Doom 3 little, every Doom game has them like somewhere. So that was weird, but yeah, I do it doesn't add anything. It's kind of awkward. So yeah, it's definitely a keyboard and mouse game. I'm a console guy, but there are certain games that have nothing is added by using a controller. So might as well.
Right. Yeah. No, I actually miss a controller. Actually, there's quite a few games that I went and I bought a PlayStation 4 controller, just to one of the two, and just to play a few side-scrolling games that I've been missing quite a lot of.
Mhm.
Jeez, Rob, you missed everything. You missed all the secrets.
What?
Like,
I'm
oh my God.
playing and holding a conversation. All right, this is the purpose of it, right? Yeah. So if I miss something, you got to stop me. It's a group walkthrough as well. if you're the flies on the shit, all right? So
I cannot believe I've also become so pretentious with this. It's just like, oh my God, he missed the secret. How does he not know? The game's 30 years old. My God.
I can't take this gatekeeping, man. Oh.
You know what?
Some people just wanna
Gatekeeping
turn it
makes
on and
us
play,
stronger.
baby.
Oh man. Anyway, I apologize.
This is the reason I don't live streams, because no one needs to know like what I care about. They just need to know if what I say at the end makes sense. I just play it. I'm like, if I find a secret, fantastic. But I'm not like sitting there like humping walls, going, "Give me your stuff, please. Give it to me."
I do appreciate that you guys are playing Doom today, so thank you for that. Very, very on brand for my aesthetic, as the Gen Zs would say.
Yeah. I was looking back through some of your recent stuff. I noticed you had that Doom video was like your second to last, right? Kind of like the how does it apply?
Yeah, I think
to life of
yeah,
Hyacsho?
it's interesting because you know, the thing is, like with Doom especially, it was the game that I wanted to just make content about in general, and any creator is like got this whole thing of you can't just start with zero experience and expect to land where you want to land tomorrow, you know, like in terms of the way you create content, what you want to even make it about, and that kind of thing. And so I started back in the day, making, I think my first stream ever on Twitch 3 or so years ago was Doom 1. Yep, you missed that. Was so funny. And after that, it was kind of like, oh, but I also want to do boomer shooters, and I bought Ion Fury, a Medieval, and Dusk when they came out. Like any good. And we'll talk about that. But the whole thing is I bought them, but then I never played them for like 2 years. They sat in my Steam library because I was like, oh, I want to stream it. I'm going to be a big streamer. When you stream it, everyone's going to love it. And no one else is doing this. And obviously they were when I arrived, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I want to play Doom. So my stuff always like scales between either very specifically Doom or any game that's like Doom. And I wish I could summarize that in a really fun boilerplate tagline so everyone could just understand. But because like boomer shooter is one thing, but it's more than just that. I mean, essentially, like you have Doom, but then Doom helped create Quake, and then so you want to say, oh, any games like Quake, and you're like, yeah, but if we skip ahead maybe 5 years, we've got all the Half-Lives, and Half-Life is an amazing game, so you want to make stuff about that, and then you've got all the Shock games. Oh, and that'll be sick to make stuff about. So you see what I mean? I have a problem because I like a lot of stuff, and YouTube hates you not being in a box. But I think my latest ones is a bit more.
You should see the rap sheet of what I put out, and I am anti niche or niche. I say that.
This is the thing. I was thinking about you a lot though recently, High Funk. You've got this. You've got this how do I say, you got this panache because you bring your own style, and I think maybe that's why a lot of people like myself come back to your stuff, because we know, and I don't know if you're consciously doing that or not, or if you're aware of it, but I know when you put out a video, I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be good. Like before we went live now, I was like, your Signalis video, I went to, I got a bowl of popcorn and I sat and I watched it on my TV. It's excellent, and I think that's why, and I'm starting to realize that with my stuff too. It's not that other people haven't done content or videos about game X or whatever, is that they haven't heard you make content about game X yet. And that was a pretty cool, I don't know, moment I had like the last month or so. It's like, I'd love to make a catalog of Doom related videos, equally videos of games that I used to enjoy in the 90s and the noughties, you know? So, but I wish it wasn't so specific, the algorithm and such. And in the ass.
Such. I guess one thing that's been at least like kind of helpful to that is they are, I think, emphasizing singular videos versus sort of like pulling you as like you like every time they pull you, they've got to pull the rest of you kind of thing.
Yeah.
That kind of idea where it used to be like, you better have everything on the exact same chain, or it's not going to bring the rest with it. So now it's more like, when you make a video, does it appeal to enough people to kind of rise above, or is it, you don't have to think, well, oh my God, is this a first-person game? No, this is a third-person RPG. It's gonna fail. And then it turns out that
right?
third-person RPG was
Yes.
Diablo 3 or something, or not Diablo 3. What is it? Baldur's Gate 3. And then you're like, well, yeah, I would assume that would rise, and then sure enough, it does. Yeah. And people are
I find it
triggered when they don't.
fascinating. I mean, I was sitting there. What is that game from Apogee with? Oh, they were talking about it the other day on Twitter. I forget what it was called now. The game from Apogee, the gentleman's got a cap. Monster Bash, right? Monster Bash is like old school side-scrolling freaking Apogee game from the 90s or wherever around there. And it's got nothing to do with the kind of content that I make, but I'd love to make a video about it because you know what I mean? Like, so it was like a game from also my childhood and things like that. And I wish I could just, like, my tagline would be games that I used to enjoy when I was a kid, and you probably will too. So check this out.
You can't do a series on it.
Well, this is the thing, right? I'm like moving into this, like, I don't know, just on the outside of YouTube, it's kind of coming to this point where, hey, I just like most games that are not sports games or AAA bloated garbage games, So, it's kind of becoming that, and maybe one day it will be something like that. But I got to get started somewhere, I suppose. So right now it's Boomer Shooters and Doom, and then as and when we'll start evolving into the other stuff. But it would be great to just keep going, right? To just I'm my own worst person. I don't know if you guys find this or anyone listening creative finds this as well, but I become my own worst person when it comes to content creation. I get too bogged up in my own head and perfectionism where it's just like, oh, but I've got to be this or I've got to be that and blah, 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 blah. And I know Deadforge luckily doesn't do this with his stuff. And Highfunk, you also very rarely do it with yours. It's just kind of like, I like this thing that I want to talk about and I'm going to talk about it. And then you go forth. And it's really cool. It's really cool.
So why'd you start a YouTube channel? What was it you were like, I've found this niche thing that I enjoy. Let me actually go out and create content on it.
Well, actually, you know what? YouTube is, so it's weird. So I don't remember what year specifically we started it, but I think it was just before lockdown started and everything like that across the world and all that. A few friends of mine, Harun and Ginny, were like, hey, Brett, you should really go and stream on Twitch. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm fine. And they're like, no, but you have the personality. We'd come and watch you, and it would be really cool. And I'm like, okay. I mean, it would be fun to see what this is all about. So me knowing nothing about live streaming, it all started with live streaming, and I went to Twitch, and my first day I streamed at 3 frames per second, Doom 1, and it was really cool, right? And any streamer will know. That's the average frames per second on any stream, but it was really fun, and I was like, that was pretty cool. And then I started doing it once a week, or started like just as and when like I could get it right. And then I had a schedule, and then I was doing it once a week, then 3 times a week all of a sudden, because lockdown made things a little bit different, And then I was doing it on Twitch for about 1.5 years, and that was really fun. Doing Doom, Boomer Shooters, pretty much anything. There wasn't really like anything specific. And then obviously around that time, a lot of videos were starting to come out. Oh, in order to grow on Twitch, you need to make YouTube content. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then have my background in digital marketing. I'm like, I suppose. And then my brother and I did who's also background in digital marketing. We did like an in-depth analysis on Twitch. Twitch doesn't have any SEO. It doesn't have any. And when people say discoverability, I don't think they really know what that means. But Twitch was bad in every level. It's very difficult to find Twitch anywhere outside of Twitch. So we're like, all right, this is a bit rough. And YouTube streaming hadn't really taken off just yet, but so we looked into it, and then him and I were like, look, that makes a lot of sense. Then if you're looking at it from a technical point of view, you need to create content on YouTube that is searchable, discoverable, and then ideally that would link back to your Twitch channel and all that jazz. So the original idea was to just upload VODs at first, and I think within a week I realized that was bullshit. No one's going to watch. No one's batch. It's so boring. And so I was like, okay, that doesn't work. I reached out to a friend of mine, Chase Carnison, who's a music YouTuber. I think he's up to I think, I don't know if he hit 70K or 100K recently subscribers, and he's so cool, and he was just like, yeah, look, you know what you got to do is just put your head down for 3 months, focus on an idea on YouTube, and just try it out and see if that works, and then look at your analytics and and how it goes. And he suggested I do Let's Plays as a start, rather than streaming on YouTube in specific while still doing my live streaming. He said that might work, so I did Let's Plays of Doom 2016. Can I just say, I've never felt more lonely and sad playing a game in my life before. I'm sitting in a dark room in my apartment, talking to myself, and I was just like, "This is fucking horrible. Like, this is awful." I even Demon and my friends, they're always very understanding. Like, "No, it's fine. You go and play games for 3 hours and record it or whatever." And I'm just like, "Okay, by the time this is done, I'm over it. I'm never doing Let's Plays again. Fuck this noise." So I was just like, "Okay, we're not doing that. I'm not doing Let's Plays. We're gonna figure something else out." And then my history in media, many times actually, I've written for gaming blogs in the past, in South Africa, sometimes in the UK. So, and I did a lot of reviews, and then I did movie reviews, and then I did did I say movie? Music reviews. And then I had my own blog several times, doing various things, whatever. But it all kind of went down reviews and that kind of pillar, right? So I was like, all right, well, I can do game reviews. I always wanted to, but I never push myself in that direction, mostly because a lot of the community, media community in South Africa is very toxic. Not all of them, there are some beautiful people who are still my friends, but for the large part, a lot of the media in South Africa tends to be quite toxic and all those other beautiful, colorful words. And so I never bothered exploring gaming reviews in South Africa to try and avoid all that rubbish. Except coming out where I live now in Dubai, I was like, I can actually kind of do a clean slate, and because of all the people I met streaming, it's all international. You guys yourselves, everything from the US to UK. It's just crazy. It's so beautiful. It's an amazing world out there. And so I was just like, well, there's nothing stopping you. Just do it. So I started reviewing games again, and then you just keep going, right? And then the rest just builds upon itself. And I'll be honest with you, reviewing games, I think it was the end of last year. I don't know if it was Rob I was talking to, but I realized that I actually played very few games last year. And I'm like, dude, I'm a reviewer. How can I have only like 6 videos that are actual reviews? What are you doing, my man? So I like the first part of this year, I actually took a step back and I was just like, look, what do you actually want to bloody well do? And if you're gonna do it, then let's do it. Otherwise, you're half-assing it. And there was this whole internal assessments I needed to do. So still stream, which is a very nice way to get first-hand impressions of new games, and I like streaming new games. And I review everything from. I'm actually working on a series now, which I'm calling Doom is Awesome series. Which is just my own internal, which is my own internal keyword for it. But basically, it's going to be a series of reviews about Doom WODs, some shorts about a few things that I have going and everything like that. Again, Doom is awesome, just trying to speak to how awesome Doom is and blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking forward to doing a lot more like that.
I think Doom is Awesome is a good name for a playlist because but people think that though, don't they? Think Doom is awesome, right? So you're not lying.
But I'm sure it's got a small cult following. I guess that probably tracks.
Yeah. This little unknown game called Doom.
Yeah.
But it's So YouTube has been crazy, but it started all on Twitch, and now I've recently started multi-streaming on YouTube and Twitch. For better or for worse.
Seems like a technical feat that you're getting through.
It's just a pain in the fucking ass. Such a pain in the ass. like honestly and truly, like I was very happy streaming. I was very happy streaming on both platforms, either platform actually. But the thing, the pain in the ass is more just like I really enjoyed. I don't know if it's because life changes after lockdown and things like that. But what I strive for is always just sitting down, pressing go live, and then we go. But I think a lot of the time, I don't know if with other people, but you tend to get caught up in a lot of the technical aspects. I know I do a lot, but the setting up can sometimes just be a real pain. Like streaming to both channels, I had to do this other Ingress server, and then I had to do this other thing. I didn't even know what I did. I just kind of did the thing the YouTube video told me to do, and it seemed to work. And it's frustrating because when you just want to, for me, I don't find myself to be much of a, I suppose like a technical guy, I guess. When it comes to games as well, like a lot of people will talk about, oh, it runs on this hardware and this software and this engine, and I'm just like, yeah, pretty colors, go boom.
Yeah.
And,
Just
right,
port how so and so kind of approach. I'm always like, that's really
right,
cool, but I will never care about this
right.
except by accident.
So exactly. So I tend to lean more towards the artistry, the creativity sides of things, which is what the stories and
Mhm.
whatever, which is where I like to play around and things. So the technical aspects of streaming just piss me off. I want to, and it's the same with making videos. Like there is a headspace I get into when I edit videos where I really enjoy the process. And actually, this most recent video I made on Wrath as well, just fucking loved putting it together, right?
That was a great video.
Thank you.
I watched the whole thing. Usually, sorry to interrupt. Sorry, by the way.
No.
But I just wanted to say it was a really, really good video. That was.
Thank you. Thank you.
I watched the whole thing in one go.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Oh no, fair enough. I mean, that's the thing, right? When I actually took the time off to sit and think about how I wanted to make stuff, it's nice just to say, yeah, just fuck around and find out what you want to do, right? So for me, it's just that whole freaking process of just enjoying yourself, going into it, putting on the camera, speaking to it, having something to say and say it, rather than I get bogged up in stupid technicalities and perfections all the time. Like, oh, I need to say this thing and I need to add this, and sometimes just shut up and just go for it. You don't have to stress too much. But no, it's been fun. It's been fun. Don't know where I'm going with this entire YouTube streaming content creation review adventure crap, but so far it's been fun, and I think that's okay.
Well, you seem to have done pretty decent out of it so far. It's clearly a passion project for you. I do remember you saying a while ago that you were getting a bit burnt out, so you had to kind of prioritize the sort of things that you were making.
Yeah.
And I think Slim said the same thing as well. And coming from someone that puts out videos every other day like I do as well, plus all of the social media content stuff, burnout is genuinely real. And I used to do what I'm doing now times 4.
Yeah.
So it's you got to do. There are two things. One, never make content for anyone other than yourself, because that, in my opinion, is the most important thing. Then the right audience will gravitate towards you.
I have to agree with that. Yeah.
The moment you start making something that you think needs to be made, you've just become part of a greater pool of competition.
I have to agree with that completely. It's such a strange thing because I get what the coaches and things, I know what they're saying. I really do. I know what they're saying. But the thing is, I would not. I think it was, I don't know who it was. It was one of you guys. Might have been Deadforge actually, but it was one of you guys, I'm sure. And I said, I would not watch the videos that I've just made. And that was a problem for me. That was a serious problem. So I was just like, okay, then what would you watch if you had to make it? I'm like, well, then I'll do this, which is a bit longer videos, more quirky, more narrative focused about A, B, and C, and that's what I would probably watch. Like, for example, like Hyphunk's videos, or like Ruby Ranger's long form videos. I would do that because you'll find me, and I always try and put myself. So if I'm sitting in the kitchen making dinner or doing the dishes, or I'm getting ready for the day with the video on in the background, that is the content I enjoy and I consume. I'll very rarely, and we'll talk about shorts because I have a really funny idea about that, but like I'll very rarely watch a 5-8 minute video. In fact, I get frustrated when it's that short because I'm like, oh god, now I have to dry my hands, move to the next video, and then we get back into the so I was just like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Especially when there's ads in it as well.
Oh no, I'm straight up YouTube Premium. I don't have time for that shit.
I can't do it.
Nice.
The reason why I went and made we used to make longer form videos a long time ago, and I went shorter form primarily because I wanted to be catered to a more mobile centric audience.
Makes sense.
The idea was that I personally watch longer form videos. So if I see something of 8 minutes, I'm like, is it really worth the investment time of watching it? But if it's 15 minutes, you can sit down and enjoy the experience of watching it, and you feel that you're getting a lot of
value
out of it. Yes,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Whereas if it's short, we actually did primarily concentrate on shorts for a while, just because YouTube was pushing it, and that's where our views were. And I gave up on the content in the end because I found that you're just going through video, and you find after a while that you've just been scrolling for half an hour. You haven't really gotten much out of it.
The doom scrolling.
Well, actually, so now that you say doom scrolling, let's talk about that quickly. All right, okay. All cards on the table. Where do you guys, if you do, I don't know about Hyfunk, but if you do and when you do you consume TikToks or YouTube Shorts or Reels? And do you do it on the toilet or in the bed?
Sorry, Medium, you go first. Let me try and figure out how to get out this bloody room.
Yeah, wide net catches all things. So yeah, it's a combination of both, especially since most things from TikTok migrate over YouTube anyway. It's kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
Kind of realize that's where most of the traffic is coming from.
Press the switch, Rob. Press the switch. There you go. Turn around. There. Wait, to the right. Oh, there. It's going there. There you go. Sorry, Hyfunk, you're saying TikTok and the Shorts.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of bathroom browsing.
Exactly. All right. So now,
much before bed, but yeah, a lot of bathroom browsing.
Right. So do I. All right. Bed and bathroom. Okay. I'm not gonna. Maybe once when I'm having lunch and I don't want to get back to work, I'll exactly. Right. So I was. So I was thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a twist on doom scrolling because we talk about doom, right? So I'm going to.
Sure.
I haven't figured out the actual line yet, but it's going to have something to do with pooping and dooming, and actually maybe that. But it's because I mean, let's get pooping, let's get booming, because I mean, let's be real, let's call a spade a spade. This is shit content. All right, at the end of the day. And that's where most people are going to watch it. So I'm just like, hey, how about I'll just make the most basic bitch content ever that people will discover while they're taking a shit, and it's pure candy floss. All right, it's mostly just explosions and blood and guts, and it's action because your brain is just like in this vulnerable moment in the middle of a stool, and you kind of like, that's nice, and then so you move on with your life because that's all it is at the end of the day. And I'm not trying to discredit people that put a lot of effort into their shorts, because there's a lot of people that do really good stuff. I mean, I've seen some amazing stuff, but when it comes to certain gaming content pieces, that is so rare. Like gaming content in shorts and TikToks is just trash, or it's streamer rubbish, So, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
A lot of people, what I've noticed is that they don't use their short form content to actually make dedicated short form content. They just take like a snippet from one of their longer videos and use it as a kind of semi-trailer sort of thing.
I used to do that, but it doesn't work.
People,
because who gives a shit?
Yeah, I think if people made dedicated short form content that actually provided value from beginning to end, it was a full video. There probably wouldn't be that stigma in terms of that. I tend to do most of my I would like to say that I do it in the bed and on the toilet, but the reality is I do it everywhere because I run a business, and I'm always on either Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or whatever, because I'm making comments and responding to comments. But as a viewer, I very rarely actually watch short form content. I watch the longer form content because so much of it seems to be just clipped from a longer video, very clearly just clipped from a longer video.
True.
If that's your intention, then that's great. But I want to watch something that gives me a beginning, middle, and an end.
But you see, now this is my thing. If that is your intention and you're going to go into that, please go through that door. Just carry on there. Go left. Yep. Yeah, okay. To your right, this is going to be an imp. Yeah.
It's almost like I've never played this before, really. I've played it 100 times, and yet now that I'm doing it on this stream, I can't remember a damn thing.
No worries. And everyone thinks streaming is easy, where you're engaging with 60 people in your room while playing an intense game and watching your tech shit. Anyway, I digress. So I was going to say the reason why a good creator that I think does this really well is My Name is Bife, and he does Lore Destiny 2 content. And because it's lore, he uses the short form as like lots of lore tidbits with his really great voice and things like that. He's done it very, very well. But then you get others which, like you said, if you're going to put in low effort into your content, you're going to get less return. And you can't really brute force it. I know because I tried. You can't exactly put out 100 shorts and hope that they'll stick. Or back in the day, Blogsy and myself, we used to do... I think you missed a switch in that other main room. So if you go back to the main room that you're in, up the stairs. So you go left, straight, left, again. Back to left again. Left. There you go. Go in there. And there's.
Thank you.
That should. There it is. Perfect. Go grab the key and then you can come back. Now there's a secret that I don't want you to miss. No, you didn't. You got the secret. Nothing.
Yeah, that one I got.
Okay, good. So Blogsy and I used to do like a shit ton of clips and things like that. So when I moved to YouTube, it was more difficult to make clips. We made clips anyway, and that's why, like, if you go and look at the analytics, you'll see like a lot of my my view numbers, my total view numbers are so high because every stream we did at least 10 clips, which were themselves own little videos, which then generated views, right? And that's all fine, but they were shit. And they meant nothing. And obviously because they mean nothing and they're not very good, you're only going to get like 10 views a thing. But even if you did it en masse, sure, you're going to maybe get a little bit upbeat. But I said to Blogsy the one day, I was like, the amount of not effort, that's quite specific. The amount of time we put into this shit, the return is pathetic. I'm not going to bother anymore. We shouldn't be bothering with this. It's not fun. It's not even good content to make, let alone watch. So it's so we did away with that quite quickly. But I think that's why I agree with you, Rob. It's like if you're going to go sit down and make short form content, sure. If you're a big content creator and a streamer and people actually give a shit about your little clips, that's okay to put that out there. But for the most part, you should still try and strive for value in the kind of content you make, whether it's short or long or streams or. It's got to be interesting. It's got to be. Streamers may not want to admit it, especially a lot of new streamers. You actually have to be interesting. Okay, you actually have to be worth watching. All right. So I had a what was he? He was an Apex streamer in South Africa. I forget the guy's name, obviously now. But he was bitching and moaning that no one came to watch him. So I saw his tweet go up. So I was a bit pissed off by this thing. So I was like, all right, I'll come over and watch you. So I went and watched, and he's like, so I'm literally there watching. And I'm saying to him, hey, dude, how's it going? Trying to keep things light. He's so angry with the world. He's just, oh, no, this is shit. I'm like, oh, see, you're trying to, I saw your tweets. I'm here to watch and whatever, how's things going? Like, no, life is shit, dude. And he's carrying on. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, he's like, yo, no one's watching me. And I'm like, my brother in Christ, I'm right here. I am watching you. All right, engage with me. Like, let's go. And what I was trying to do is give him the opportunity to grow and blossom himself, to say, you need to be entertaining and fun. But if you're just the boring sod that's just playing Apex Legends over and over, no one's going to give a shit about what you have to say, because that's like every other down dozen. You have to be of remark. You have to be, and that's the reality. That's the truth. You can't just be stream endlessly. I mean, to be fair, some people's quiet, mysterious demeanor, I suppose, can work for some people, but I suppose that's quite rare.
It's a show, though, isn't it? You're there to be a presenter, essentially, and your personality needs to come through the screen. Exactly. So when you're doing something like even what we're doing right now, we're talking, but we're doing a kind of hyper version of how we would chat. This is more like we're around the pub table, we've got a few drinks sort of thing, not some sort of intellectual sort of we're in a corporate meeting conversation. There's a level of informality where you can be more jovial and upbeat, and it comes through across on the screen. So a lot of people, I think, they just think that playing a game is enough. It's not. If I played this game here right now in silence, you turn off literally after 2 minutes. You're like, this guy's not doing anything for me, unless the only purpose you're watching the game is you need it as a tutorial, a walkthrough.
And you know what? Some creators nail that. And I forget his name because his name is complicated. But you guys know the Doom creator who's got the Hyacsho demon as his picture. It's like
Pag
6669 or something. Shame. I think he is fucking great because firstly he's just doing exactly what he's always done, which is quiet, silent gameplay, like endless run of a new either boomer shooter or Doom map. He's just freaking going for it, and I'm just like, hell yeah! And you know what? His playthroughs have helped me many times, but he'll be the first one that's taken him like 6 or 7 years just to get where he is now, and I respect the fact that he just does what he does, and that's okay. Like if you're just gonna go forth and do that, that's fine, but don't expect yourself to be completely out of the ordinary, completely stand out. There has to be some kind of artistry to it, and if you look at the way Pog does it, I'm gonna get that wrong. The way Pog does it. Okay, so you want to go to your left there, Rob? There's a door there. Left. There you are. So just for everyone that's watching here, if you're not playing on GZ Doom, a lot of the lighting that you would normally get on GZ Doom doesn't come through here. So the doors look like they're not the doors that you need. So like even if you walked up here, Rob couldn't hardly see the red.
Wowza.
On your right, there you go. Nailed it. On your left, there you go. Very good. So you got to go down there.
Zone.
You are in the fun zone. You got to go down there and go to your right. Oh fuck.
No.
1 second, I'm being analyzed. Oh, right.
Shit.
Yeah.
God, this is ultra-violence. No, it's actually not. So anyway, I digress. But I was just saying, like, I really enjoy his stuff. But even with his I suppose style being quite normal in contrast to other ways you could create that video, it's still very polished. He still takes it quite seriously. You can see it in his work. Like it's still like HD or 4K or whatever that he's making it on. The gameplay itself is quite practiced and experienced. You know, it's not like he's screwing around for 10 hours trying to unlock a key or whatever. You know, so his work is pretty good, and I can see he puts effort into it. But that's the difference, right? Is that you can see the difference in the effort. If they're not going to make the effort. Sorry, Rob, I can't remember how to open that right now off the top of my head. But that thing platform goes up. Yeah. I think Jared Baird speaks a lot about it, about the artistry of what we do. You know, I mean, you have to also think about it from that point of view. If we're gonna, I think you take the right. If I'm honest with you, Rob. The artistry of what you do, and I take that very seriously. I don't want it to be. No, go back. Go down. Go back.
No. Yeah.
The other one. No, not that one. Yeah. Yep. Go to your right. Go in there. Where the chain gun is.
In here?
No, not there. No, the other one.
In here?
Go down there. Yeah. Go down there. Perfect. Go into that. Say one of these things is up here is where you got to be to open that door. It's either this side or the other side. It's one of the sides. Go in there.
I went somewhere and ended up in...
Yeah? Oh. Okay. There it is on the left side. There. On the left, you see the switch? Oh, you can't see it. Oh, this is shit. All right. Go into the other door there. I go into the other hole. There's a switch on the wall. Not that one. Not the one you're going down. The other one.
The other side of the room. Yeah.
No. I thought that it was here and that the switch was here.
Just jump down.
The other switch.
Right.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. I can't believe it. GZ Doom is so much better. There it is. And you're good. There it is. It's not you. It's not you. I can see why it's difficult. The coloring is not coming through.
You sound like we're breaking up. It's not you.
In the world,
There we go. Yeah. Brilliant. But anyway, that's my little rant on that. But I was just going to say the art, and Jared says this a lot. It's like, yeah, it is a show, like you say. And yes, all of us here know the technical parts of it and have experimented and tested and we try all these different things. But at the end of the day, it's still a work of art, or at least I also try and look at it that way. It needs to at least be artistic and remarkable rather than made in a factory where at all possible. You know, I mean, everyone eats commercial products, but we don't necessarily love commercial products. You know, it's kind of one of those things. It's like you're at least the way I see it is that if you're going to put a lot of effort and create and be serious about your artwork and everything like that, the effort and the quality then goes up in theory. But then, and so does the value. If you're going to spend 2 minutes cutting a clip together, or not even these days because you can get an AI to do it for you, and then putting it out there and be like, why did I only get 10 views on my shorts? I'm like, oh, I don't know, dude. It's you playing Call of Duty, saying nothing for 5 seconds, and no one gives a fuck about that.
The transformative idea, right? When you're trying to battle with the copyright playing people, and you're like, oh, well, I transformed it, I made it different. It's like, are you making it enough of a unique product where it stands up on its own, or is it just guy with recording device, hit record, and then hit upload?
Yeah. It's all very interesting for me. Like, I love this shit. I do digital marketing and strategy as a profession. So anytime I do YouTube or Twitch, I tend to start off with that lens where all the technical stuff, which pisses me off because I become my own worst enemy. Like the way Rob was saying with his content, because I'm in my day job, I'm used to working with a team of 20 to 30 people around a strategy or whatever. When I first started with YouTube and Twitch, I put a strategy together that I would have given to a blue chip client. And then I was trying to execute that strategy on my own 2-3 hours a day. And I was just like, wow, this is I'm not able to do it. And B, why am I so tired? It seems very obvious now, you know?
I fully I empathize with you. I run my own digital marketing agency, so the entire strategy I have for HyperVerse is the strategy that I offer to my clients as well. Because if you've got to treat your own business with the same level of professionalism and desire that you have to treat that you expect, to give other people. But bro, it's so exhausting, and I'm like at my PC at 11 o'clock at night, thinking, "Why am I here?"
Well, this is
what you got to do. What you got to do.
We talk about burnout, and I was burnt the fuck out. Like Demon was saying to me, she's like, I know you're passionate and things like that, but maybe you need to take a break tonight, because it was working five days a week at my day job for 10 hours a day. I don't care if my colleagues hear that because they know I work those hours and or longer. And then I'll come home. Like, luckily I live close to the office, but I'll come home and then now I'm tired from work, but now I still got to put in 2-3 hours of work into my other stuff, which a lot of people would say, okay, that's fine. Which I would normally say is agreeable, but if you're like Rob will understand, if you're creating shorts, longs, clips, streams, thumbnails, stills, designs, promotions, ads, blog articles, SEO optimized articles for Steam, Blogger, blah, 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 blah. And so the list goes on, right? Scheduled tweets, scheduled Instagram posts, scheduled this, scheduled that, and so the list goes on. Then when someone says, oh, but you only made one video, and I'm like, but I made 200 pieces of content. So in one video, and I don't do it anymore for the record. I don't do that anymore because fuck it. But it's kind of like anyone with that kind of brain, like anyone exposed to the industry, especially agency, this is how we operate. And to apply to yourself, oh yes, the cat. Hey. and when you apply it to yourself, what's their name?
This is Maynard, named after Tool's lead singer.
Aw, cute.
Hey Maynard, don't be shy.
Hey Maynard.
It's like, I'm not shy. That's why I'm knocking your equipment over.
Yes, I think
I can't see the cat because I've got the thingy on both screens. But I know which cat. Yeah.
Shame. But to close off on that, I think. Shame, man. But to close off on that, I think the biggest thing is like just remember that you're only one person. You only have 12 hours to live a day, 24 hours to live a day, and sometimes it's okay to just say, all right, I'm going to focus on making a YouTube video and letting the algorithm learn about that. Ooh, Rob, sorry, this is a pain in the ass. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
I saw the bloody arrow on the floor. This Doom 2 is famous for the floor arrow.
Like Sandy Peterson is doing a great job at those arrows. Don't go down here. You're going to get lost. I'm going to show you quickly. All right, go out of here. All right, go all the way back out where you were. Okay, go out there. All right, did you go up the lift there? Go straight? Oh, you didn't. Go up here.
I'm sure I went up there, but
no, you are.
Okay, right. Sorry, it's big balls time. All right.
Enjoy. But yeah, so like for me, it's just I even though you can do that, and that's why it's like if someone came to me, it's like, hey, Hyacsho, I need a strategy for X, Y, and Z. I could totally put it together for you. Whether you can carry out that strategy depends on your resources, and then you got to change your strategy. Like I feel like I've done now with my stuff, where I don't want to post stuff on Facebook and Instagram, mostly because I don't like Meta anymore, but don't want to put that out there. I'm going to focus primarily on YouTube and Twitch. And I am okay with that. I would even drop Twitch if I didn't enjoy it so much. But just downsize, minimize, and then at least the content that I do create or the art that I'm trying to create is a bit more engaging and remarkable, and I can handle it rather than exhausting myself at 1,000 different styles of the same thing just to cater for a much wider audience. Rather create that niche audience, that dedicated audience, than I don't need everyone to like me. Is basically what I'm getting to. If I can create a cool YouTube audience, I'd just be happy. Like I'll sit back and I'll be pleased with myself.
A lot of people, they do that though. It's just they have a YouTube channel and then they have like a Twitter or something to support it, and that like the sum of their involvement with and there's nothing wrong with that, of
No,
course.
exactly.
That they want. Uh, some people I've noticed do actually do what I do, which is they create one video and then they post it across multiple platforms, and then they'll do different versions of that video, the short version, etc.
Tailoring your resume.
Which is yeah, it's about like getting the most value out of it. It's like the sorry, let me pause the game for a second. I don't know, Hyacsho, if you noticed, but we post like little snippets of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So in addition to the main one, we usually have a chat for like 10 minutes or something afterwards, just once the guest has left, and we'll get some just random stuff and I'll post it. And I spent 3 hours yesterday looking at what we did, usually with the little captions, thinking that looks crap, and I'm going to change it. So now it's going to have a different format as it goes out. But it's just about taking what you've got and kind of repurposing it.
Oh yeah.
Minimizes the time that you have to invest in what you're doing, which is really increasing your mental health, really, because at the end of the day, no one's going to live your life but you.
Agreed. And it also depends. Like, if you only have 2 hours to dedicate to your project a day, i.e., let's just use YouTube as an example, are you using those 2 hours effectively? And does it make sense for you to use those 2 hours? Then also, what's the goal? Like, I know, like, for example, putting out content for me on Instagram did not serve any big picture goal except the algorithm. And I've over the last 2 years, example, I've become very anti social media for a lot of reasons. Same, actually, very anti even YouTube for that matter, because being in the ad space as much as I am and putting out hundreds of ads a day, and that kind of thing. So I specialize in paid media specifically. I used to do content, social media content, and long form content, and all that jazz, and whatever. And then I decided I wanted to specialize in paid media. And one of the bigger things is that you start to realize the weird. I don't know the right word, frankly. But basically, most content creators, I want specifically content creators, just create a means for people to come to an ad platform. So people like me can put ads for you to buy rubbish, and that's basically what it comes down to. So are you making content to satisfy the platform owner, or are you making something that people actually can enjoy and like? And a lot of people, I think, get caught up in, oh, I'm making content. And I'm like, cool, so what? But if you said to me, I'm actually currently creating a video talking about Assassin's Creed Odyssey and why the lead character was such a remarkable character to explore and develop, be like, now that's interesting. But if you're just saying I'm, like a lot of content creators are just putting out content for the sake of content, it doesn't necessarily have value. Or at least not. I am generalizing, to be sure. I am generalizing, but that's the way I started to look at it. Where I'm like, no, I don't want to make something just to have an ad placed over it to make a big corporation more money at the expense of my own ability, my own creative preferences. So when I started thinking like that, then I'm like, okay, cool. I can start making the system work for me a little bit more, and boom. So you prep there, Rob. And then start rather making art in the form of videos that I'd like to make, or streams in the form of streaming content in a way that I like and I enjoy, that creates value, but also that is an expression of myself, and ideally value created through that. If I can do that in a way that works with an algorithm, fair enough. Not the end of the world. We can line that up. But I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be the reason why. I think people make content to adhere to an algorithm rather than make art and the algorithm works around that.
At the end of the day, the algorithm is not there for you. It's there for
exactly
the companies running the ads to maximize the ad revenue they get.
Correct.
So it's, I mean, if you can get, I think that's probably the reason why a lot of people don't rely on ad revenue anymore. They try to diversify things, sponsorships, merchandise, affiliates, that sort of thing. It's simply unreliable, really. How do you feel about the term content? Just in general, in referring to what we do, because it's kind of a hot topic, right?
Like I said, it's the content is basically the what difficulty are you playing on?
Hurt me plenty. No, wait, no. Where does?
I don't think it'll show you.
Violence, but...
Body video customized cheats? Cheats? Get out
Of course,
of
it's
here.
cheats.
That's
okay. I was just curious. I thought, not ultra violence.
It's only one. No.
There should be a Spider Mastermind Day, unless there's a difference in this version. I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna find that out. Content is not. You know what? At the end of the day, I think we can all agree that content is something that media and publishing companies need, and that we all create. For the record, as soon as you engage, if you engage in any online anything, you are in theory creating content. Content is a degree, some kind of media that people. There you go. You missed that. You could have crushed.
I should have done it to begin with.
As everyone's first time. But essentially, content is just a means for people. Like I say, this is a very extreme point of view that I'm going to make. It's not really. I can sit here and actually dissect it properly, I suppose. But content is just a form of media that advertisers and publishers can place advertising on top of, or the content within itself acts as that advertising or media. It's not necessarily something that it's not necessarily art. It's not necessarily of value in theory. It's just something put out there that could have value, could not have value, wouldn't make any difference either way. And it's promoted through some of the means. Ideally, the best form of content should be something that is remarkable, that is engaging, that is relatable, and that does intrinsically provide value by its existence. But as we all know, that most content doesn't line up to that. That's the dream. Most people and most agencies won't do that, but ideally that's what you want. You want something remarkable, you want something engaging, valuable, and all that jazz. Something people can relate to. But unfortunately not. So Rob, when you go out of this room where you were on that the lift, there's a hole on the left-hand side. Go there, go. More. So on the left, there's that hole. You kind of need to jump out on that hole there. Yeah, don't worry. Wait for it to go up. You should be okay. Boom. Up. All right, good.
Wait again.
All right, good. There you go. Ready. All right, give it a few tries. There you go. Solid.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah, Hyacsho, to your point, it kind of reminds me of the idea of like the minimum sellable product versus, like what's the least amount of work that you can do to kind of like look like you're doing something. But it always tends to equate to like something you could write in 5 minutes, and you're just sort of like word stunting for 30 seconds per minute, and then you get done and you go upload, and they're like, well, it's about Doom, and I like Doom, so I guess I'll watch this. It's almost like I've watched way too many YouTube reviews or retrospectives where I just realized it was like the most surface level takes. It's just about like stuff, it's just almost anybody, and it's not even so much like you can't make sort of a recommendation nostalgia video, but when it feels like 20 other people could have said it, and I don't feel like I heard either you say it or enough of you in it, that's when I'm kind of like, this really feels like a please the lowest common denominator, just kind of do just enough to justify. I feel like, that's 40 minutes. It's probably pretty deep.
If I have to say the high funk, like not all content is shit, but there's a lot of it is unnecessary and it's trash. And I do know, and I feel that it's worth clarifying, because there are a lot of people who do make content for a living and is actually pretty fucking cool at it, But I think that also those people are not making, in inverted commas, content. They're making some level of production or art rather than just some crap to throw on the internet, And I think, and again, I'm making a very bad example of the definition of content versus art versus media and everything like that. But it's in there. It just needs to stop being a commercialized product wherever possible, And that's why it comes to your minimum viable product there, High Funk. Rather than a commercial product, like Justin Bieber, it should actually be something. Sorry for the
you don't want to feel like an industry plant. That's the thing.
I'm gonna have to bloop out that bloody word that you just said. Then, just so it's
not like I'm insulting Taylor Swift. I mean, we wouldn't want the Swifties in the comments.
Feel free to. I do.
Shame. Anyway, I digress. That's where I think. I don't like being called a content creator purely because I was with them. Yeah, so I'd rather guys just talk to me as like a reviewer, a media person. I don't give a shit, but not a content creator or the worst influencer. Don't fucking call me that shit. Like I have morals, I have ethics. Okay, don't call me that stuff.
I just Revenant. Shit.
Yeah, run, hang here.
I despise the term content creator because content creator is literally like 6 different jobs in one. And it just demeans the amount of work that actually has to go into it. You know, everyone is a writer, everyone's a presenter, everyone's an editor, everyone's a social media manager.
Yeah.
Entertainer is probably a better word, to be honest with you. That kind of encapsulate.
I'd be called an entertainer. I could be more affluent. I could be an entertainer. I don't mind that. Freddie Mercury was an entertainer, Diz. We could do this.
Yes.
That would be fine by me.
Yeah, because that is kind of the end goal. Because like I know coming from sort of a literary background with English major, it's easy to sit there and go, those are some beautiful sentences. And then you get into the YouTube space and people are like, golly, man, do you just like love hearing the sound of your own vocal cords slapping together? And it's just so long and long-winded. And it doesn't contribute to like, I mean, there are long-winded intros that I've had to just sit there and just chop down. And I'm like, well, this seems too lowbrow now. You know, it's just like, man, you got to talk like a human being at some point. So that kind of veers me towards it being an entertainer versus being like a guy who gets up and does poetry reading in a dry way kind of thing.
Shit. So apparently this has saved my saves from when I was playing on Xbox, and now I'm suddenly at the icon of Sim Battle.
All right, well, God to be with you.
Come on.
You know what, I had no idea. Well, I kind of understood, but it was always very cool to hear that you have a literary background. I envy you. I wish I did.
Oh, by the way, you actually reminded me, and I'll probably say this for the very end because I think it's good. But I don't know if you've ever seen that clip of Jeff Goldblum talking about like what keeps him inspired. Have you seen that with the George Bernard Shaw quote?
I haven't.
Okay, well, I'm gonna bust that out for you at the end. Don't let me forget.
Okay,
but it's really good. It's to your point, talking about that guy that was having, was just severely negative when he should be sort of going seizing the opportunity. It's good. Exactly. But that plays into my literary background. I'm like, I know a book about that. I know a poem about that.
Oh, I'd love to see that now. That's awesome.
Yeah. We'll rip it out here in a little bit. Maybe sooner rather than later because it is 8:55.
Oh, I can go for a little longer if you guys need.
Okay. Cool.
But it's entirely up to you guys.
Let's go. Like we're on a good energy. Let's go. It's all good, man. I'm having a great time.
When do you think you'll stop doing this? I don't want to be like devil's advocate or something, but do you think you'll ever get bored of doing what you do?
Yes, absolutely. Only because like I get bored about a lot of things. Which is why if you guys ever saw my house or my old house where I had more stuff, I really enjoy lots of things, and then I also get bored of lots of things when I'm done, especially when I feel like I've achieved the thing I set out to do. So, for example, a very good example. So once upon a time, I wanted to be an entrepreneur and a businessman and all of this jazz. And funny enough, that actually took up a large portion of my younger life, where I was very inspired by Richard Branson and that kind of thing. And when I left school, I was supposed to get a job at, say, you guys won't know the company, but I was supposed to be in marketing for Matrix Warehouse. It's like this computer company in South Africa, and because I knew the founder and the CEO at the time, and I was like, yeah, I'm finishing my degree in business, and I'm looking for work. Would you guys have an opening, something I could, intern position, whatever? It's like, yeah, no problem. And he just ghosted me, and basically, and no matter how much I tried, never got back to me. But he made a habit of flirting with my mom, which is always fun, and it was so all that, and then after all that happened, I started now having to go and look for proper work or try and find a work in a space that I liked. So I had a bachelor's degree in business and I liked marketing, so I was like, cool. And of course, the same old story. Oh, you need 5 years of experience and a degree, but you need a job to get the experience, and so forth and so forth. So I was basically that year I was just consistently, oh Rob, that was so sad. Oh Rob.
That's what
And anyway,
reloads are for.
yes, so I had to try and get a job and get experience and whatever, but no one would give me an opportunity at the time, no matter how much I tried. So I was like, okay, fuck it. So I'll do my own business then, and I will get the experience through having my own business. So I started my own agency, or what I would call an agency now. At the time, I didn't know what agencies were, but I started my own agency when I was 21, 20, 21, somewhere there. And so I started building websites, and I started outsourcing to other things, started growing from there. Eventually, got work in other places. But the point I'm trying to make about getting bored is that if I don't, you're not gonna. So what you have to do is you kind of have to. Yep, exactly
I've
that.
got to
Exactly
do
that.
it while I'm going up.
No. You go. You can try and do it when you go up and when you jump off.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
always such a
Yeah,
bugger.
very awkward. I think that was a mistake. I'm telling you now, it was a mistake, and they just left it in.
Yeah, they're like, it's
You
a
know,
feature.
it's a feature.
You're good.
But point I'm trying to make with the whole agency shtick is that besides actually doing communication, you're actually talking to people and engaging with human beings and stuff like that. I get bored with everything that I've done so far. So I did websites for a while. Nah, not much tech. Move on to the next thing. Did social media. Nah, this is a little bit lame and soul crushing. Move on to the next thing. Do paid media. It's like, I think I'm close to the peak of doing that. Move on to the next thing. And when I started my first business, I thought to myself, okay, the only thing that can drive me is an insurmountable goal, a goal that I'll probably won't achieve. But if I'm not don't have a goal to keep working towards, I'm not going to be able to motivate myself. So I thought, okay, my goal will be to meet Richard Branson. I'll never meet Richard Branson, so I'm going to do that. That'll be my goal, and that'll drive me to keep working and doing my thing. And then in about 2 years' time, after I started my own business, I actually did meet Richard Branson at he has a school in South Africa in Johannesburg, and I went and I attended one of the talks, and he was there, and I met him. He has the most calming demeanor. He has the most lovely eyes, by the way. And I had a photo because, of course, I do. Because holy shit! And you can, if you ever, I don't even know where the photo is, but you can see in my face, I'm completely starstruck. And but then when I was riding home from that meeting, I realized that I didn't really wanted to do anything anymore. Like I felt like, oh, now I've achieved that goal. I kind of don't have any a sense of amazing motivation to do anything more. So I tend to have to establish these goals for myself to be inspired because I get bored very quick. And there's like, I don't know. I think eventually, I think I wanted to do this for about maybe 5 years, see if it was something I wanted to keep doing, and then move on to something else because why not? See where we go from there. And I think probably going to be a little longer than 5 years now, if I'm honest with you. But and that's because I keep learning and I keep doing different things. I think if I kept, say for example, if I was like Skill Up, for example, who I like a lot, by the way. Rob, what are you doing? What are you doing, Rob?
I don't know why. I go in there and all my loads are from friggin' 2021. What happened to the ones I was saving just now?
Scroll? Can you scroll? No?
No,
Scroll?
can't scroll up or down.
That's so weird.
So,
okay.
so yeah.
Okay,
So
you keep going. No, it's no worries. I don't even know
No.
what level this is. I can't help you. but
Live
yeah,
just
so
got liver.
shame. But yeah, Skill Up is great, right? And I aspire to be like that. But I'm also like, I think unless things changed quite on the regular, like I did different things and was always stimulated by new ideas, adventures, things like that. But if I had to keep doing the same shit, I'd probably be bored very quick and I'd just move on to the next thing. Like, I don't have an example now, but okay, here's a good example. Like streaming. All right, specifically streaming. Okay, not the whole shtick that we do, but like for me, I'm sitting there, I'm just like, yeah, streaming, that's cool. I mean, I've been doing it for like going on 4 years now almost, and I'm kind of just like, yeah, and I think I did that. I think I tried that. I think it's fun. I think I'm done now. Or like, so I tend to dial back on like the volume of streaming. I'm actually enjoying making original long form video essays. That now is stimulating for me. So for me, I'm like, yeah, sweet. Maybe in 2 to 3 years, I'm just like, yeah, I just want to make shorts or TikToks or whatever the fuck thing is next. Oh, I know what level this is. And Rob, can I just say, I don't like this level and I never committed this memory, so I can't help you.
Why don't we get out of it? Right. So
Well, you actually brought up a interesting thing. Hyacsho, would there be any like genre change or anything that might kind of keep you going if you kind of are like, well, I think I've talked enough about shooters. What's next? I mean, you
Hell
kind of
yes.
touched on that at the beginning. Yeah. Go for it.
Hell yes, brother. Like for me, I use you as a really nice, I suppose, inspiration. But it's if I want to talk about Monster Bash, for example, game from my childhood, game that got an HD release, by the way, if you guys are curious. I love that game. I'd love to talk about that game purely because it would be such a nice palate cleanser. And yeah, I know the algorithm doesn't like that, I guess, but I honestly these days, guys, I don't do this for money, and I don't do this for cred or awareness or anything like that. I don't do this for rep. I do it because it's a bit of fun to do, or at least this is where I've gotten to, especially these days. I didn't always, because I'm competitive as well. You know what I mean? So I'm like, the numbers must go up, right? Which is why I do paid media. But so that aside, I at my heart of hearts, I just don't care. So I'm not doing this for money, and I'm not doing this for clicks, and whatever the case may be. So for now, I'm actually getting to this point where I did Wrath, and I'm currently playing through Bears in Space, which is a really fun game, which has so much great references. Oh my gosh, and I really enjoyed that. But I'm also sitting there, I'm like, I would love to talk maybe about Celeste. Or I would like to talk about, like I said, Monster Bash, or maybe Warcraft 3. That would be cool, because these are also games that I like, and I'm sure people like me would enjoy hear me talking about. So I'm definitely going to be branching out and trying different things. Maybe not in the immediate term, but definitely at some point, because my God, eventually it just gets a little dry and tedious. Even a good example is like Civi or G-Man or whoever you prefer to look at. They do tend to ever so subtly branch out into different. They do it. Oh, you missed it! My God.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't even want to tell you how many times it took me to get that really awkward, like not quite, it's not really leading it, but it kind of is. You have to figure out like what leading looks like in a straight up and down engine like that. God, it just took forever.
And
then realize
guys, I
can't
don't want to love you and leave it, but I'm gonna have to check out in a bit.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, you're probably saving me from some grief about. I thought we were going to breakfast at 9, and it's 9:15. So
yeah. Something similar here. Yeah.
I do not want to forget that quote because it's cool, and because Jeff Goldblum did it better, but because it really reminded me of what you're saying. Okay, I'll do my best. I didn't rehearse this, so I can't really give it to you off the cuff, but it is really good. Okay, this is from George Bernard Shaw, and it's about basically why do you do what you do and why is it important? Okay, this is the true joy in life, the being used for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one, the being thoroughly worn out before you were thrown on the scrap heap. And this, to the Hyacsho's point earlier, the being a force of nature instead of a feverish, selfish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world did not devote itself to making you happy. I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die, for the harder I work, the more I live. Life is no brief candle to me. It is a sort of splendid torch, which I have got to hold for a moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to the future generations.
I like that.
Yeah, that sounds like someone that's got a grip on life and feels like they understand their purpose here.
I love that. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna look that up. Like I always take Sundays as prep days, so that'll be a lovely primer for me. Thank you, chap. That's really cool.
Yeah. You thank Jeff Goldblum for that. One of his many contributions to the world. Reminding us of that.
Oh yeah. We have by the way, if Demon and I had our way, we would have a framed picture of Goldblum in our house. We love the man. He's a complete legend.
Yeah, another little anecdote I'll throw in there. I saw someone my wife shared with me the other day where he would go around at a party, and it was like kind of mingle with the public type of thing, and a fan would meet him, and she'd be like, "Okay, I'm so and so," and one of his panelists would pull him aside and be like, "Oh, this is her," and he'd be like, "Oh my God, it's you!" Like he'd forgotten, like he knew them or something, and they were like, "Oh, I just felt so good. I just felt like he was really paying attention to me," and then she saw him go around the party and do the same thing with like 5 other people. And she was like, "Oh, I see, very wise, making everybody feel good." Okay.
Hell yeah.
It is a good tactic for networking. Things like I know a lot of people, if they meet somebody and they take a business card, they'll write like one fact about that person on the back of the business card. So next time they meet them, it's, oh, how was your daughter's birthday? You know, that sort of thing. It is a good strategy.
Yeah, my neighbor is a marketing guy who owns his own business, and he has this weird thing where you can tell he's like processing. He's like reciting his fact about you. He's like, oh yeah, I went to a conference and Chloe, that's like the Kardashian. That's what I'll think of when I talk to you. And it's like, okay, I didn't know you needed that much help.
Honestly, dude, marketing people are not okay. We're not okay. All right, like it's a real thing. I was even saying to a friend of mine, maybe I want to go and work at a bookshop. Maybe that'll cheer me up or something like that. Oh, some days I swear.
Yeah, got to be a little bit of a robot, right, to make them results.
Some days, yeah. You know, that's the thing. It's like, even though we're in paid media, I'm still the first person to stand up and say that if the content is good enough or not. I mean, your ad still needs to be good. Even though we can, like, push this shit down people's throats with a bit of money, it still needs to be, I don't know, edible, I guess. I don't know. Even then, engaging, even then, you know, I mean, digestible, that's the word, I suppose, you know. So the difference between 100,000 impressions and 50,000 impressions, or whatever we're working on, you know. So it has to still be good, you know. And I used to be in the camp which didn't give a shit about the content. I was very, you know, but over the last several years, it's kind of like, no, actually it does make a difference on the results. So, you know, I like to see the data in that way. Lines go up. That's all that matters sometimes. Rob, I know you got a skedaddle, and I know we've got breakfast and everything.
Yeah. You go ahead and wrap it up.
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask a question.
Okay.
No. I'm here for you guys. I'm loving this energy. I'm always gonna come back. I always got a lot to say. So you guys just give me a shout.
It's all good, and we want you back. So I live in a house with other people, and other people need to be doing other stuff. So it's
no worries.
Leave them wanting more.
True. I'll cut this bit out with us complaining about that.
Yeah, let's not be a worthless clod of ailments and grievances.
I love that quote. Gosh, man, I'm gonna grab that now and look it up.
All right. Well, Hyacsho, thank you very much. So, to everyone that's watching, thank you for watching the Quad Damage podcast. We'd like to thank our guest Hyacsho for joining us for a playthrough of Doom 2.
My pleasure.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Your smile is always welcome. Yeah, like that. HyperVerse can be found on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and just leave it at that. Yeah. Medium, where can you be found?
Yeah, you can find me at the same name, High Functioning Medium, not an autistic furry, believe it or not, on YouTube, and on Twitter at High Funk Medium.
High Funk Medium, yeah.
That's all the characters will allow. Definitely a problem.
Yeah, I know the feeling. And Hyacsho, where can our guests find you?
You can find me pretty much anywhere. All under Hyacsho, Hyac, something like that. Hyacsho, however you spell it. HYAC show. There we go. However you spell it, I'm everywhere, but I'm mostly active on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks very much for joining, everyone involved, and you for watching. And that's all for today, folks. So keep on booming.
Quad